At approximately 1,400 hours, state and federal authorities uncovered a duffel bag in the woods. Said bag contains 24 hours of Scooby-Doo episodes.
Excuse me, what episodes? The Spacey Space Kook? Which is
yes,
which?
all of them.
Will you be releasing them to the public?
We'll be showing them in a marathon type situation.
What about the whereabouts of the kids? Where are the kids?
I can't discuss that at this time. You'll just have to watch the marathon. No more questions.
Hey, excuse me, over here. Where are the kids? The public has a right to know.
Were there animals in the van?
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a request, a paid request from Baja Vtuber. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, tier list, ranking, review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. And Baja wanted me to look at the Scooby-Doo project, which, when I got this request, I was excited for it because it had been a while since I had seen this. For those who don't know, back in October 1999, the Cartoon Network was going to have about, I want to say 3 marathons for Scooby-Doo. Just they figure, hey, it's the month of October. Scooby's pretty kind of known as, monsters, that type of thing for Halloween. And we need to have some kind of content, so yeah, we'll have 3 marathons. And hey, how about you 3 animators? For each one of the marathons, you create little things in between. Little interstitials or something that, as people watching, they get this little bit here and there. So maybe they keep watching to see what little bit will come up next. Well, the 3 animators, which their names are Chris Kelly, Larry Morris, and Steve Patrick, they got together and they said, well, let's do one thing. They had seen the teaser and they know of the hype of the Blair Witch Project. Let's do that. Now, obviously, by the time it got to October 1999, there had already been a lot of parodies, or people trying to parody, making fun of TV stuff that would do that. But I will say, I thought this was one of the more well done parodies and funny, effective parodies. And I think I remember watching this when it came out, because I didn't see Blair Witch Project in the theater, but I knew of it because on TV there'd be Siskel and Ebert reviewing the film, or there'd be like I would watch the E network, and they were mentioning about how this low budget film became a phenomenon, and the trailer I would see, I'm like, oh, this trailer looks interesting. That looks like a film I've never seen before, because I had never seen a found footage film before. Long story short, I did not watch until Halloween. I mean, until it came out. The VJs came out in October. I can't remember when it came out. Like, if it came out, I think it would have come out before. I don't know. I keep thinking I saw that movie before this, but if they came out around the same time, I don't know. That's one of those things I was able to get it right when it came out and saw it and was just hooked from the get-go, and then I saw this. Either way, I know I saw both around the same time. I remember sitting there, okay, I'm watching Scooby-Doo marathon, and then seeing these new little scenes pop up, parodying the Scooby-Doo. I think at first I thought it was going to be like a full movie. Like it's this build up to a movie called the Scooby-Doo Project, or I didn't know there would be these short little things in between. But it was still cool to see, like you watch an episode, you wait for a commercial break, and then what next little thing they're going to pop up. I think what they did was there was such a good buzz about it that on Halloween, I think at the end they showed the whole thing. Now on YouTube, thankfully, there are people that put it all together. You don't watch the whole thing. Like the one I watched was 25 minutes and 21 seconds. So it's like promos, which the promos are well done because the promos fit the Blair Witch Project vibe. The, not really music, but the creepy sound and, you know, the missing persons poster and like they got it right enough with the Blair Witch that does really fit in its own vibe, in its own universe. And it didn't feel like half-assed. Like they're just half-assedly doing it. They were committed to it. They were committed to the bit, which I appreciate. And from what I understand, they got the cast who had voiced Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. They got that voice cast. And granted, it's my... that Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, I know, is a favorite for people. For me, I hate the voices of Shaggy and Scooby on that. And to me, Shaggy and Scooby were my go-to guys on that show. Because I did grow up with the show. I grew up with Scooby-Doo. My aunt would send us videotapes showcasing it. And I would watch Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Or A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, or the stuff with Scrappy, even some bits of the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo and the Boo Brothers, Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. I would see a lot of that stuff when I was a kid. Just my aunt would send us that stuff because we didn't have the channels those were on. And so Don Messick as Scooby and Casey Kasem as Shaggy are the voices I think of when I think of Scooby and Shaggy. Now, later on, I thought Matthew Lillard did a good job as Shaggy. So I wish it was either Casey Kasem or Matthew Lillard. Obviously, this is before Matthew Lillard even played Shaggy in the live-action film. And Casey Kasem, I know at one point he left because he left the character because like he wanted to be Shaggy to be a vegetarian, and then they were getting butthurt about it, and I'm like, what's the big fucking deal? But whatever. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. I would say, like, Daphne and Velma, the voices are fine. Fred, I think it's the same guy for the whole time, Fred. The voices of Shaggy and Scooby, I'm not big on. But, I mean, this I deal with because I like the gimmick of it all. Which is, they're looking into a monster. I like the fact that the rest of the environment is real. Real trees, real forest, real people they interview. And then the only thing is cartoon-like. I like that. I appreciate that. Granted, I'm sure it saves on time and budget because they don't have to animate that stuff. But it works with the found footage feel. They even make a joke about it where Shaggy goes, "These woods look different." What do you mean? They look more realistic. And then, you know, they go through interviewing the people, leaving the van, put up a tent. They hear noises, they run off, they run through the woods, they get lost. They're lost for at least 7 or so days. Instead of rocks, there's Scooby snacks piled around. And Shaggy's like, I'm not going to take those, they're cursed Scooby snacks. And Scooby's like, okay, did you trick me? Did you trip me? Did you put those there? Did you trick me? They find, I guess, like, they find a drive-in. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do a whole lot more with that drive-in thing. Then they find a house, and they go through this kind of Scooby antics. But it's just kind of a fun, clever combination of the two. And there's parts watches I still laugh at. I still laugh at this. I want to write some of these down so I don't forget. One of the bits is Daphne complaining about the shoes she's wearing. And Velma's like, oh yeah, because you're wearing high heels, you're wearing all these clothes out here in the woods. Then Daphne looks at Velma and goes, well, at least I try to look feminine. And you see Velma's look like... I thought that was pretty funny. Or Shaggy is saying zoinks, and then Velma's like, zoinks? Who says zoinks? Who the hell says, not hell, but who says zoinks? Oh, well, you want me to say jinkies? And Fred and Daphne are laughing. He's got a point, Velma. Stop laughing. Jinkies, we are totally zoinked. If you stop laughing at me. A cute bit where Scooby is trying to film. Oh, there's this, there's a tree, there's a monster, there's a monster. Shaggy doing his own little confession, and why are Fred and Daphne always going off together? Now again, this is before even the first live action film where they poked fun at the gimmicks, poked fun at the cliches, poked fun at, oh, Daphne and Velma are going off, Daphne and, well, that'd be a different thing. Daphne and Fred going off together. This might have been one of the first times where they really mentioned that stuff. So, like, that was refreshing to mention stuff that hardcore fans would say a lot about these certain things. Like Fred goes, it's been 7 days. Usually it takes us like 20 minutes to find a monster mask. I guess I'm just so used to the routine. Oh, Scooby-Doo, where are you? Over here. They turn and Scooby's right there, and then they go, oh. So it's stuff like that that's like playing off of the cliches, playing off of the tropes, turn a bit on its head. And yeah, I like kind of it's weird to say low budget, but the idea of just having actual camera in the woods, the real woods, and having these cartoons that have very limited animation. Like, very limited. They don't move a whole lot. They're kind of standing still. And then maybe, like, a few other poses. I'm sure some of the poses they reuse. Because I'm sure they didn't have the biggest budget for... Because it's not like they don't have a big budget for... Okay, it's supposed to be these little tiny, like, 10-second interstitials in between commercials. I guess one of the the first marathon was Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? One of them might have been for something with Scrappy in it, I believe. And I think that's when they had the Scrappy parts in there. What is that? Puppy power. Oh no, did you invite him, Scoob? No. One of the funnier bits is you have Daphne running and screaming and Velma going, Daphne, stop. Daphne, it's just Scrappy-Doo. And then there's a beat, and then Daphne goes, I know. I know. But at least they keep Scrappy in character. When he shows up, they're like, hey, Scrappy. He still loves his Uncle Scooby. He's still gung-ho about Uncle Scooby and adamant to help him. Then there's a point he runs off in the woods, and Fred goes, you see that? We let him run off, and now it's time to find a way back fast. And they turn the other way just to leave Scrappy alone to do whatever he needs to do. Like, you could say that's probably more funny and wittier, but still more in character than the live-action film, which I think was written by James Gunn. Now, to be fair, I do like the live-action Scooby-Doo, the first one. There's elements I don't like about it, yes, but there's elements I do. I will admit, when I first saw Scrappy as the villain, I saw that film in the theater, and I went, I never thought they used Scrappy as a villain. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty entertaining. I thought that was a very clever, unique take on it. If you're a fan of Scrappy, then of course you don't be very pissed at that. And now that I think about it, they never really used Scrappy ever again. Because he's known that a lot of people don't like him because they find him annoying, they find him irritating, they find him unlikable. I was never that bothered by Scrappy, but at the same time, I can admit that even like Scooby-Doo and the Boo Brothers, I was more into what Scooby and Shaggy was doing, not Scrappy. So I'll either take them or leave them. Here I thought it was used fairly in a funny way. And yeah, there's a bit where they go to a drive-in and Shaggy and Scooby eat all the food. I thought there's going to be a lot more done with that drive-in. I actually didn't think... I don't know what, but I think a lot more could have been done with it. They find a house. They do the bit with the doors, where they're going in all the doors. They do the bit where someone's in the basement looking at the corner, but it's Shaggy. He's looking at it because he's scared, doesn't know what to do. There's a monster, the camera drops. I think when they showed it all in a row on Halloween, they added a new bit, I believe, where it's a guy tied up, they unmask him. Yeah, it's Halloween. What about steering us at the stair? You steered us at the cemetery. I wasn't at the cemetery. They turn, there's another monster, then they book it. And funny enough, there's actually, which sadly is kind of prevalent because the person from Space Ghost, if you remember that, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. I think the voice actor, sadly, of that had passed away recently. But yeah, there was a Space Ghost Coast to Coast where the character Fred was on there. And not Space Ghost, but the other, I forget the other guy's name. They're talking, and he's like, wait a minute, so you guys went out in the woods and filmed? Yeah, and then when you came out, they said it was just a blatant rip-off the Blair Witch Project? Yeah, we wanted to do, some evidence, but no one believed us, and I guess in a weird way that confirms that they're okay, they made it out, but I forget how long after that was done, but if you type up the Scooby-Doo Project 1999, if you look that up, at least the one I saw, which is 25 minutes and 21 seconds, they put, the person edited that all together, and you could tell some of the footage looks newer, some looks older. So I guess when they put all the footage together, originally in 1999, they didn't really have all the footage. But someone took, maybe there was also some clips and promos. They were able to put it together as concise as they could as a full episode, which is cool. I mean, I like when they do that kind of stuff, but you can tell the dip in quality with the video, which doesn't bother me. But again, just knows that in case it does bother someone. But those type of gimmicks, I'm fine when they do those types. It's like the X-Files. They did the episode where it's an episode of Cops. That's actually one of my favorite X-Files episodes. Where Mulder and Scully happens to be on an episode of Cops, and there's this creature that, of course, as they're being filmed, happens to be a creature that you can't really see. Or it keeps, manifests as you're afraid, and I don't know how to put it, but that one I always enjoyed, and this one I enjoyed. This was fun. It was great to watch this again. It was great to relive this again. I still think it was clever. I still think it was funny. I just wish it was not, at least Scooby and Shaggy was in the cast of Zombie Island. I wish Don Messick had been around. May he rest in peace. I wish Casey Kasem, at least him, had come back to voice Shaggy. I think that would have been cool to have him voicing this kind of stuff. I think that would have been neat. Because I know, Casey Kasem was still around at this time, because eventually he would come back to voice Shaggy. I forget what the show was, what year it is. Because it felt like every year they have a show, it's all 1 or 2 seasons, then cancel it. Then do another one, 1 or 2 seasons, then cancel it. So it's hard to keep track. But yeah, this was fun to see. This was a nice nostalgic piece. Cool that there are people, apparently multiple people that have taken and edited all together. It's cool also they have all the promos, which I thought were kind of well done, clever. And again, a great fun nod to the Blair Witch Project. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Scooby van was found beside a dirt road. Search parties have spent several days searching the woods and found hundreds of Scooby snacks, but no trace of the teenage sleuths have been found.